Hey y'all. So I wanted to share something real quick that I got curious and looked up the other day. But I noticed in my videos that when I hold the phone in one hand, the audio is better, and when I hold it in the other, it's not. But I was moving restaurant equipment in a warehouse yesterday and I shredded my other hand. So, yeah. Sorry if the audio is not awesome. So what I got curious about was, you know how when you listen to politicians and just Congress, and when you listen to them talk about, oh, we need 30 billion for this and we need X billion for that, and oh, it'll only be like this, we only need this many $1 billion to do this, or we need a $1.5 trillion war machine or Department of Defense, and this is annually. We're talking about annually every year, okay? So check this out. There's 342.6 billion American citizens. So let's just say every American citizen pays taxes. And most of us are the working class. And even people today, even people that make 100,000 a year, 100K, they're not even, even though they're like the 1% of the American working class, they're still the working class, and I know that they're having trouble right now as well. So check that out. 342.6 billion American taxpayers, okay? So when they say every year we give $30 billion to is it real Chosenites in the Middle East, our greatest ally? I did the math, and look, my math may not be perfect on this, but I do encourage you to do the math yourself. You got a calculator on your cell phone, like just divide everything they're saying that they need the taxpayers to pay for by the number of taxpayers, and then you can figure out the amount of debt going on to every single American taxpayer. So check this out. When I did the math, and to be fair to me, I rounded down in my numbers. So the numbers are probably higher. The amount of debt that they give you every year is probably higher. But for Is It Real, our greatest ally, that 30 billion we give to them annually, it costs every single taxpayer in America $87.5 million every year. So every year you're $87.5 million more in debt. Every single taxpayer, not the country, every individual American. I looked up, I remember during COVID when they were trying to defund the police, I looked up, I heard back then, I think it was 50 billion annually goes to law enforcement nationwide, about 50 billion. Okay, so that's more than our greatest ally gets every year. I divided it by 342.6 million, and that's $146 million every year debt on every individual American. Then I got curious about our defense budget. It used to be 500 billion annually for our global war machine. Now, back then it would have came out to about 1 billion debt every year on every American. But because in 2027 they voted, and I think it passed, that they want to raise it to 1.5 trillion. 4 billion starting in 2027, 4 billion every year on every American citizen. So just so you get an idea of $1 billion, I mean, a working person you can work hard and I guess invest right, play the game right, and a working class person can become a millionaire. I've known people that have done it. But a millionaire will almost never make it to billionaire. Type in your phone, ask ChatGPT or whatever, how many millions does it take to become a billion? Look that up. So a millionaire who maybe has millions of dollars of net worth, or whatever their annual income is, whatever they're making for, or however they're doing it, doesn't matter. A millionaire could never for the rest of their life pay off one single year of debt that's being imposed on them by our government. And here's the thing, I just listed off our greatest ally, law enforcement, the defense budget. What about all the other stuff? What about Ukraine? What about that bridge during Biden's thing that the Ukrainian boat guy crashed into, and Biden's like, oh, don't worry about insurance, like taxpayers will pay that. What about Trump's ballroom / bunker / whatever data center it is? You know, what about when they're talking about, oh, it'll just be, we just need $5 billion from, you know, taxpayers. Bro, like there's only, like, all these things add up, and this is happening every year, and has been happening every year, and that's why our debt is astronomical. I think it's at like 41 trillion. Bro, Elon Musk just became a trillionaire. I think I heard that. How many years could he cover his own, only his debt that's imposed on him every year in America, if he was actually paying it? Like, we are debt slaves. Like, Trump's worth what, 7 billion, I think, something like that. The Trump family is like 7 billion. That's literally maybe 2 years he could pay his own debt. His entire fortune would pay his own debt for 2 years for all the debt that's being put on him if he paid his taxes. You know what I mean? Like, when they're throwing these numbers out, dude, like, just do a quick math thing, or ask your phone to do it for you. Like, no bueno, man. Anyway, I'll end with this. Somebody, you know, this is not something I've just heard one person say, but I heard him say it today. Like, we all need hope. It's important. Yeah, but hope's not a plan. I agree with you, but hope's not a plan. Like, and if you're hoping for something, that means something is not the way you want it to be. So you have to be solutionary oriented. And I'm not saying that they would argue with me on that. And I'm definitely not arguing what they say. You have to have hope, or what's the point of anything? So, other than itself, you know, just the experience. But I mean, yeah, it's not cool that people keep saying like Gen Z is like lazy and everything. No, they just don't want to play a game that they're rigged to lose. They know they'll never own a house. They probably won't. They might own a car one day. Like, dude, come on, man. We got a lot of problems, and we can be hopeful and love our country and all this stuff, but like, we have to solve these problems, man. They're not solving themselves, and the government is causing these problems, so the government's not going to solve them for us. We have to do this, right? Or we don't, and we all just keep complaining about shit, and it keeps getting worse. And the worse it gets, the more people complain. I mean, that's a shitty cycle to live in. Next time.